Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to another amazing edition of Let's Talk 1943. I am so excited tonight. We're going to learn something today, y'all. We're going to learn something today. I have the beautiful Carol Tonge Mack on today, and we are going to talk about something that's really important for us women, the Ten Commandments. And we're going to get more into that. She'll explain that in detail. But as we always say, are you ready? Let's talk. All right, we back. We back. We are back. Thank you once again for joining us this evening on Let's Talk 1943. And I'm your host, Regina Smithwick, and we do have Miss Tongue Mac tonight. How you doing tonight?
I am doing fabulous. I'm doing fabulous. How about you, sis?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. I've been looking forward to this show today. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. Before we get started, let's go ahead and do my little prayer. Lord Heavenly Father, thank you once again for allowing me to be a vessel, as I always say, for allowing me to be able to give out the information as you see fit. Thank you for allowing Carol on the show this evening that she could be able to educate and enlighten us and help us to be able to be better people. And that's what we always want. So in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right.
Amen.
So let me do my little intro for you, Carol. So Carol Tongue is the founder and CEO of Tongue Mack Enterprises LLC, empowering the next dimension leaders. Carol believes in the power of real sisterhood and helping women recognize that they are good enough whether they are holding a broom or a gavel. She is the co-founder of UC Black Women on the Move Employee Resource Group, former state co-chair of the American Council of Education, and I'm proud to say a member of the amazing, the favorite, the absolute best sorority in the world, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Incorporated.
Welcome, Carol Tongue Mack, to Let's Talk. How you doing?
Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for just this amazing opportunity to be here and chat with you. Before we begin anything, of course, thank God for this opportunity that I didn't see coming, that I did not see coming, but that's how God works, right? And I wanted to make sure that I move forward and thank my daughter for being here this weekend. Literally, another one that was God sent because I was like, yeah, I put on a little something on, but as you can see, she glammed me up from head to toe.
She
So
got
I'm
you
just
glam,
really,
girl. She got you
she
glam.
glammed me up, right? And so I'm really grateful for that. And I wanted to always thank my husband for being by my side. He's literally by my side, just making sure, just if I have any technical difficulties or just here for support, he's always by my side. So I wanted to start off by saying that.
That, and I'm glad you did. He's a producer in the making.
In the making, from a chemist to, a producer.
So give it to him. Hey, you know what? Give it to a producer. Tell him
That's
he got
right.
another calling.
That's right.
So let's start. And like I always say, let's dig in. So let's start with you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from?
Yes.
Let's start there.
Yeah, so I'm originally from an island in the Caribbean called Antigua. It's about 2 hours south of the Bahamas where we were, back in
Mm-hmm.
August. And we are
Mm-hmm.
known for our 365 beaches, one for
Mm.
every day of the year. So, sis, I need you to go and stay for a whole year so you can experience them both. I then came to the I'm an immigrant here to the US. I came here when I was a teenager, young teen. I moved to the South Bronx in New York City. So all the South Bronx folks in my family listening, thank you so much for listening and being here. And then I went off to school in New England, in Vermont, and then New Hampshire, and then got a great started my career there at the University of New Hampshire, and then got a great opportunity to move here to Cincinnati. So I've been here for 20 years. And so
Oh,
this is where I am, and I am happy to be here in this moment with you.
yes, I am. And tell me about that. Living in New Hampshire. I never being a New Yorker, I never passed Connecticut. I haven't even been to Boston
Honey,
before.
you are
So
not the
how
only
is New
one.
Hampshire?
You are not the only one. You're not the only one. So, I had the amazing opportunity to go to school in Vermont. I went to Middlebury College. It's a small liberal arts school, one of the top 10 in the country. And so when that opportunity came my way, I said, well, I don't know. Let me go visit first. So I visited, and it really reminded me, I know you're not going to believe this. It reminded me of being in the Caribbean with the cows and the grass and all of that other stuff. That's because I visited when, it wasn't it actually was cold, but there was something about it that made me feel like I belonged there. I think they
Okay.
also had people there from New York City who kind of kept us all together. So it was an easy choice. But then winter came.
Okay.
Then winter came, honey. I was like, "Ooh, it is really cold here." Okay, it was really, really cold.
Yeah, from being where you from, yeah, it's
Yes,
cold.
coming from the Caribbean, going to New York City. Of course, New York City is cold. It snows there, but let me tell
Right.
you something. There's nothing like Vermont weather. The closer you got to Canada, honey, it was too much for me. But I held fast. I had really great friends. I
Hmm.
had some really wonderful people to hold me down. So I was able to stay, complete my degree. And then, of course, I thought, oh, I'm just going to go back to New York. I'm going to become a teacher,
Hmm.
all of that great things. And then my mentor, who I love dearly, hopefully she's listening. Her name is Pat Murphy. She's been my mentor since I was in high school. I've known her for 35 years.
Wow.
And she said to me, so what about that grad school thing? I was like, girl, I'm about to go home and take care of my baby. Grad school, what is that? So she encouraged me to apply to grad school, which I did. I applied and, got accepted to the University of New Hampshire. I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Sharon, who recruited me there to the University of New Hampshire, and then got great
Okay.
mentors there as well. So,
Wow. Yeah, great. I mean, that's beautiful. And get into the topic we're going to talk about tonight, just having that sisterhood and
yes,
having those connections and those people that have your back. And we're going to get more in detail with that
yes.
because you talk about that in your commandments. So we're going to definitely get in there. So let's go from there. So what gave you that purpose, that God-given purpose for you to do what we're talking about tonight, the 10 Commandments?
Yeah, so the Ten Commandments really started initially. The first spark that I had with the Ten Commandments is really about, I don't know if, of course, hopefully Biggie, Biggie Smalls, growing up in
Come
New York,
on.
everybody knows Biggie.
Can't live
He
in New
has
York
his
without no
own Ten
Biggie.
Commandments. He got his own Ten Commandments. And then I was
Yeah,
sitting one day and I thought, he got some rules for some other things. I can come up with
Hmm.
some rules as well. So that's what's really the initial spark. Really, and then the other spark
Wow.
was,
So
listening to
Biggie
women.
started it all, right?
Yeah, listen, it was all a dream.
Don't get me started. I'll do the
No,
whole
I
song
won't
for
get you
you.
started.
But
Okay, I won't get you started. So that's the what ignited it in the first place. And then
Mhm.
as you grow and you learn and you listen to different women speak, you learn that women are struggling with the rules of society imposed upon us. We didn't ask for some of these rules; they were just there, and we kind of just fall in line. And so I said, I need to
Mhm.
write this down, and I need to make it something catchy. Yeah, the Ten Commandments are for women. And then so really that's how it got started. But really, what took it to the next level for me, I'll share one more thing because it
Okay.
came kind of after I had the Ten Commandments written down. One of the things that came to my mind, it was a quote that I saw, and it said, can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be?
Mm.
Ain't
Say
that
that one more
something?
time. Say that one more
I'm
time.
going to
Say
tell
that
you
one
one
more
more time. Can you remember who you were before
time.
the
Mhm.
world told you who you should be? So many
Nope.
of us don't know. We can't remember who we were because the world has always told us who we should be. And so,
Mm.
after, of course, I created the commandments, that came to my mind. I said, this is one of the reasons. But I'm going to take you back to an amazing experience, a lovely, I mean, it was an experience of a lifetime that I had with Miss Sonia Jackson Miles. I met her
Mhm.
in Jamaica in 2015 in the fall. I was there for a women's conference in Jamaica. I accepted an award. She accepted an award as well. I had no idea she lived in
Nice.
Cincinnati. Yeah, so we were both there in Jamaica at the same time, but we lived in the same city and had no idea. And then I learned about her dream walking masterclass. So she has
Oh.
a master class for dream walkers. So these are folks like myself. We have all of these dreams, but we never
Mhm.
walk in our dreams. And so I said, okay, when I get back to Cincinnati, I'm going to look into this. And so after I returned from Jamaica, thank you, Shelly and Richmond, for putting us together. After I got back to Cincinnati, I said I'm going to join dream walking. So I did the dream walking master class, and
Mhm.
then as part of the master class, you have to walk in your dreams. And one of my dreams was to write a book. And I wrote my memoir and it was published in 2017. And I'll talk about that a bit more later. And so as part of that dream walking masterclass, I did my memoir as well as the 10 commandments for women was something else that followed after that. And if it really wasn't for that dream walking masterclass, where you're really focusing on you and your dreams, not the dreams at your job, not anybody else's dream, but your dream. And my dream was to write a memoir. My mother told me years ago, yeah, you should write a book. I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about that. But when you just spend time with yourself and have the time to spend with yourself and just focus on you. So when I focused on me in that masterclass, I was able to do both my memoir and the empowerment guide.
I totally agree, because when I wrote my book, that's what you do. When you write a book, you have to spend time with yourself. There's no way around it.
That's right.
Because you have to definitely be in peace. You have to be in quiet. You actually have to really think, and you really got to rewrite. Like you got to really dig. So you have to be good with yourself, especially when you're writing about yourself.
That's right. It took a little longer than I thought. I thought, I'll do this 6 months to 9 months. I'll get this done. But when you start peeling back the layers of your life, you're like, oh, I need to sit down and, pay attention.
You got to start dealing with stuff.
You got to leave it alone for a little while. So, yeah.
And then when you start dealing with stuff, you got to be like, okay, I'm about to tell the world about this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just getting over this, or I'm just dealing with it. Now I'm writing it. So now the world's going to read it.
The world's going to read it. But then your family member got to read it too, right? So when my mom read it, she was like, why'd you write that? I was like, but, it's my story. I got to write my story. So I had to explain to her that, yes, I mentioned you, I mentioned my dad or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm just talking about my story, not your part of the story. So sometimes you got some explaining to do with the family, right? You got some explaining to do. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, but it's part, I mean, like you said, the journey is like a picture. It's like a movie, right? It's like a motion picture. And you go through your journey, and there's co-stars, there's walk-ins, walkthroughs. Like, these people are part of your journey, even though they're not you, but they're part of what made you or made you do whatever. So you have to talk about it. You can't go around that.
That's right. That's right. But when it comes to your mom, you gotta be gentle. So I was gentle. I just kind of explained it to her, and she was fine after that. But she's old school, so they're just some things. She's just like, I don't know why.
That part. Don't be telling nobody.
Don't be telling the business. But here's the part.
What we say in the house stays in the house.
That's right. But here, a closed mouth don't get fed. So it's sometimes you got to say some things. And I know as we get into the commandments, we talk about that. But that's how you're going to get to sisterhood. You have to say something to someone. You just have to determine what you should say.
So let's talk about sisterhood real quick. So I wanted to bring something up here.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So this picture here, she ain't know I had. She ain't know I had.
I didn't know you had this picture.
Oh, I got some surprises for you. She didn't know I had this. But this picture, and I'm gonna explain what happened here. This is when we met. We met on a cruise, and she did mention Sonia. Sonia was the main part of us meeting.
That's right.
Just like she met Sonia on a cruise or on a conference, in Jamaica, I met Carol on a cruise that Sonia had. It was her 10-year leadership conference cruise, and it's called Sister Accord is the name of our nonprofit organization. She's doing amazing things. We can't talk highly about Sonia. And so she was actually a guest speaker on the cruise. And that night, that's the picture, literally the night she was speaking about the 10 Commandments. And it intrigued me so much that I went up to her and I said, listen, I know I just met you, but I really want you to come on my show, the 10 Commandments. And you was in conviction, like you were speaking, like it was just, I was like, you know what? A lot of people need to hear these 10 Commandments, and we need to speak about it on the show. Not knowing we were sorority sisters at all.
That's right.
We didn't even know that yet.
We had no idea.
We didn't even know that yet until the next day. But that night, that was enough for me. I needed her on the show. So when we get into 10 Commandments, y'all gonna hear some stuff. I'm telling you. But this is the first night I met Carol, and it was a blessing. And I'm so glad. And Sonia, thank you again for having this cruise. And the purpose of the cruise was sisterhood.
And love.
That's what the point was: embracing, networking, getting to know each other, and that's what we did.
Yes, that's what we did, and we're all better for it. It was one of those experiences that I never thought, and I had to say that to Sonia. I never thought this immigrant girl who grew up in the South Bronx. Again, I didn't grow up anywhere else, but the South Bronx would end up on Freedom of the Seas. That's the name of the ship, if you can remember.
Right.
On Freedom of the Seas, on the Royal Caribbean.
Ain't that something?
Isn't that something? Just listening to those things together and going and being able to present on the Royal Caribbean at a conference, it was one of those opportunities of a lifetime that I never thought that would happen. And then we met, and then I met so many other people. I mean, Yolanda Adams blessed us. Oh my goodness. And the Holy Ghost, if you can remember.
I can remember. Yeah.
Showed up and showed out.
Everyone.
Something else.
The whole experience was a life-changing experience, because you have to go on this cruise and you had to go in the purpose of the cruise, right?
That's right.
So you had to have your mind ready, open to receive and to give. And you had to know when you were going there, you were going to be with sisters, you were going to bond, you have to have that. And I'm just going to look on the sidebar with this. So when you go to things, you have to be open to whatever the thing is. Like if you go into a situation like this, you go in there closed up and don't want to talk and and then you come out of it going, oh, it wasn't that much. It wasn't that great. Well, it wasn't for you because you didn't go into it openly.
That's right.
To receive. And you had to be able to enjoy this experience. And that's anything in life. If you go into anything closed, you're going to come out closed. Nothing's going to change. You have to be open to receive, and you have to be open to give for any change in your life. So I was
open to the love. I mean, this cruise, it was of course, 10-year anniversary for the Sister Accord, and we just did nothing but celebrate love and sisterhood. And I don't think I know of anything else that's all you do. You celebrate love and sisterhood. So it was nothing but God to really be there.
That's right. So let's go into the 10 commandments that we've been talking about. But before we do that, let me check the comments. I think we have a couple for you.
Oh, already. Oh, wow.
There we go. All right. So BX. So she said, I never been prouder. Peace to the Mack family.
Yes. Listen, I've known this man. His name is Eddie. I've known him since high school. High school. We've known each other for about 35 years. And, when I told him about this, he said, I will be there. And he's here. So love you. Love you.
Yes. And he actually said something else here. My mother spoke about Carol yesterday. Yes, she remembers Carol.
Yes. And I'm certainly, the next time I'm in the city, the next time I go to New York, he lives in Florida, but the next time I go to New York, I'm going to go see his mother so she can make me some oxtails. Okay. Yeah.
You made a promise. You know that's it,
like
right?
That.
Okay. That's it.
That's right.
Kaya said, hey there, ladies. Hello, Kaya. Thank you for watching. I totally appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Tiffany, Boxdale, this is my makeup artist. She's thebomb.com. Okay?
Yes, she is. Because I see you out here looking fly. I see you out here looking fly, girl. Yes.
She hooked me up a couple of weeks ago. Hey, Tiffany. Hello, beautiful ladies. Thank you for watching, girl. I totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's get into the 10 commandments. So let's start with thou shalt create a personal board of directors. So let's get into that.
Yeah, so that is my first commandment. Because no matter who you are, we are all in this world together and we need each other. And I think a lot of times, like, as there's so many companies, and I use this example often. If you think of any major company, they all have board of directors or some leaders that are helping guiding them. And for us, we don't have that. So I did a little bit of digging, a little bit of research before I got on the call. And I looked this up last night. Chase Bank has 11 board members. Netflix has 22 leaders and then some other directors. And Disney, one of our favorites, has 16 executive leaders and another 11 board of directors. Why don't we have the same concepts for ourselves? Because, this is life. We all need different people with different skill set. Notice I didn't say anything about titles. I said different skills. So I have at least 10 people on my board. And these are the people who are going to pour into me, who are going to make sure that I have the things that I need. And so for those of you online, you're not able to see this, but I'm going to kind of show you, this is what the 10 commandments look like. And I have on the back of it, I have some my self-affirmation. But the first commandment, which Ms. Gina just talked about, it says, thou shalt create a personal board of directors. And it also says you need people who have your best interests at heart. They will pray for you without judgment and prepare you for the next level of your journey. And at the end of all of my commandments, I have a quote. And this particular quote, I know y'all are going to be like, what? You got a quote by Nicki Minaj? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because, you know, she's from New York too. And it says here, all I do is win. Ain't that the reason that you're really mad? Undisputed. I'm the bestest. So Sonia Jackson Miles, she calls this her winning circle, meaning that this is a group of people that you need to have around you if there's anything that you need. I have at least 10. I would say I have about 10 to 12 people. I'm going to give a major shout out to one of my my board of directors, because I have also accountability partners. So for example, one of the reasons the 10 commandments is actually out, this is the shout out I'm going to give to Iris, that you know, that you met on the cruise ship. So Iris, Kimberly Huckabee, and Ewaniki Moore Hawkins. You didn't get a chance to meet her. We are all dream walking sisters. And so we were sitting in a restaurant when we were sitting there having lunch. And I was telling them about the 10 commandments. I have this idea. It's kind of written down, you know, haven't published it yet. And as we were sitting there, they said, well, what are you waiting for? Accountability. Do you see that? Accountability sisters. They were like, okay, so you're talking about this thing, but when are you going to put it out there for the world to see it? And I said, you know what, you're right. Let me go ahead and take that extra step. So they were my accountability partners to make sure that this happened, because they wanted to see it happen for me as well. So on my personal board of directors, I have accountability partners. I have people who will get me together. I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my board of directors, Marilyn Kershaw. There was one time at work, this was probably about less than 10 years ago, I had a young man disrespect me. Like literally, I was sitting there listening to some things. He wasn't there, but I was listening to some of the things that he was saying about me that was being read to me. And, you know, the South Bronx showed up that day. And thank God she's from Brooklyn. So she said to me, let's look at this differently, not better, because she knew my reaction to what the person said was not wrong, but I could look at it differently. And she said to me, let's walk down the hall and let's think about how we can do this differently. Because it was so interesting when people try to disrespect you. And we're going to get to that as another commandment. And so I was so grateful for her that day to say, okay, yes, is he being disrespectful? Absolutely he is. But, you know, the best thing for me in that moment was to say, okay, Carol, let's get up. Instead of getting upset and doing some other things, I said, let me remove myself from the situation. And so she helped remove me from the situation, literally, and we walked down the hall. And that was one of the best things. So I always give her props. And so, you know, again, we need to have people. I have prayer warriors on my board of directors. Last year I got sick, and I tell you, I'm going to give another shout out to Geneva Miller, my girl Tyree Gaines, Yolanda Cooper. There were some other folks who prayed for me. These are folks that I can call on anytime and pray and cry and do whatever I need to do, because nobody's judging me. We need to have people on our board, just like we have Disney got a board, Netflix has a board. Why don't we have our own board? Because let's go back to what we just said a few minutes ago. We don't want nobody knowing our business. You don't have to share every single detail, but you're not going to get help if you don't say anything.
That's right.
And so that was my first commandment, because I wanted to make sure that we had a board of directors, that we all have a personal.
You know what? The comments are coming in right now. You will not believe. Okay. I'm going to go through them in a minute.
Okay.
But the board of directors, and I'm gonna chime in on one part you said about clapping back. I had a conversation about this yesterday. I had a Soul Sister brunch at my house yesterday, and we were talking about situations and, you know, and how you feel like you're being punked out by not clapping back. And I mentioned to him, I said, as a New Yorker, as a Jerseyer, when someone says something to you, them hands. Let me tell you something. What you're not going to do. What
That's
you're
right.
not going to
That's
do
right.
is that's the first thing. You know, your head start tilting. You be like, wait a minute, who are you talking to? First of all, what you're not going to do, and that's the first thing that comes out, right?
That's
And
right.
you clapping them hands, and you got all, you know, we talk with our hands, and we all over the place.
Yes.
I say, you know what? That's first of all what they want you to do, because they don't know nothing else. So they need you to talk their language.
That's
their language, right? So what your board of directors did is say, I'm gonna teach you a different language.
That's right.
Come with me.
Come with me. Yes, different. Because I said, now, you know, you have that internal conversation. So internally, I was just like, if I hear one more word this person's gonna say,
exactly,
I'm gonna flip this right here. But you know what? That's the Bronx way, but I ain't gonna do it. I said, let me get up. So I stood up and I said, I said, you know what? I have to get out of here. That's literally what I said. And so she said to me, okay, Carol, let's walk down the hall and think about some things differently. And so I really appreciated that. Oh, yes.
Yeah, take a different route. But see, that's what I was telling them. I said, you feel like you're being punked out. You feel like you're being played, because we were taught if someone says something to you, you better say something back, because you look like a punk if you let somebody that talk to you any crazy way, right? Outside of your neck, the other side of your neck. So when you actually say, I'm not going to take that route, I'm going to walk away. I don't care how I look. But at the end, I'm not going to win maybe the battle. I'm going to win this war.
That's right.
Because I'm not going to let you take me there, because I know I'm better. I'm greater than that. And where you at, I need to pray for you, because you had a space that if this is how you handle your situations, you have a lot of growing to do. And I feel bad for you. And when you start seeing it that way, your mindset change and seeing things that, oh, I feel bad for you. Let me pray for you, because you're in a place that you are so angry. You're so mad at yourself. You don't like yourself. You're bringing that on me. It's really about you. When you get mad, it's about you. It's not about me. I'm just a target. You're just using me as a target because you're not happy in your life. And that's all it is. Because most people do that, you can tell they're not happy people.
It is all it is. But, you know, you do have to have people who will help you think of things a little bit differently, right? And because what folks don't know and understand, my sister Lisa, hopefully she's listening. My sister Lisa and I were talking the other day about just growing up in the Bronx and just the different things. And we were talking about rolling deep, right? You know, only people who know what rolling deep means. I used to roll with about 10 people. Going to the movie theater, just everything we do, we rolled deep. And so I always had people who have my back, right? And so I always had a board of directors. I just didn't know what it was called. And so that happens with growth, maturity. You learn and you grow. And so I've always had a board. We just have a different name now. You get a little bit more sophisticated. You know how it is. You get, as we say in the Bronx, you get a little bit more education. You think you are that, you know. So I was just grateful that it happened that way.
Well, I'm glad you did. So I'm going to go to the comments real quick, and then we're going to go to the next one, the next commandment. Oh, hey, this is actually one of my friends, my best friend. This is her cousin. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We have another comment from your friend. To attend the University of Cincinnati only because I knew she would be safe with Carol.
Yes, that's right.
Carol had her back. Carol have her back.
Right.
Oh, this is one of my high school friends, Janine. She's
like, hello. Hey, the high school people show up for you, man.
Yes, my high school girl. Yes, we've been friends since junior high school, actually.
Wow.
Yes. So thank you, Janine, for watching. Oh, I love that. Board of directors. Tiffany, we talk, you know, about girl. She's gonna jump on that one, I guarantee you. So you gotta let me know if you get your board, let me know. I'm gonna let Carol know. If you put your board together, let us know. Definitely. Everyone wants to be a rapper. He left. Okay, let's see. Yes, I know hip hop as well. I'm telling you, that's why I said, don't let me start singing. But yes, hip hop all day. BX. Okay, absolutely amazing. Thank you for the comments. Janine said she has 6 people on her board and several advisors. Okay, Janine.
Yes, go ahead, Janine.
All right, Janine. 1 prayer partner. There you go. That's beautiful that she knows that. Love to navigate into the corporate world. We won. And lastly, okay, Janine said hi back. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all commenting and keep on. We got a couple more to go, so you're gonna have some more to say.
Yes.
So
I'll go through quickly.
Okay, so let's go through the second one. Okay,
So
so
this second
that's the
this
one you were talking about. Thou shalt not
yes.
allow anyone to disrespect you
Mm.
physically, verbally, or emotionally. So go from
That's
there.
right. That's right. And the quote at the end of that is by, I call her my auntie Lord. So I'm going to read what the quote says. If I didn't
Mhm.
define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies for me and eaten alive. If we don't show people how to treat us, we're going to end up in a really bad situation. Because people sometimes, sometimes I think adults are like children. They poke. They said, "Oh, she didn't say anything. She was so nice." And then they poke again, they poke again. But that's not how it is. We cannot allow folks to disrespect us. So, we're still in October. And as you know, October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I
Mhm.
really want to speak to this because this is happening too often to our, and it's not just to young people, it's to just people in general.
Mhm.
I wanted to make sure that I mention some stats that I found online from the World Health Organization. So I'm going to take it to the world and then take it down to nationally. The World
Okay.
Health Organization said women exposed to intimate partner violence are 2 times as likely to experience depression. 42% who experience physical or sexual violence experience injuries as a result.
Mhm.
38% of all murders globally, again globally, 38% were reported as being committed by their partner. Now I'm going to bring it to you locally, meaning like nationally to the US. The National Task Force to End Sexual and Domestic Violence and the YWCA, this is the stat that they put out. One in
Mhm.
4 women in the United States are victims of domestic violence. 1 in 4,
Wow.
Miss Gina, 1 in 4.
Wow.
15 million children are exposed to domestic violence each year. 15 million children.
15 million?
15 million. And on a daily basis, there are 3 women who are murdered by their partner. This is an epidemic.
Mm.
This is an epidemic where people have learned to disrespect us physically. This behavior has to stop. And it first has to stop with those at your home. That's why you need to have a personal board of directors as well. As things begin to happen, you want to reach out to someone saying, okay, here's how I'm being treated emotionally, because as you know, domestic violence is not just physical pain. There's scars that
Mhm.
we see, and then there's scars that we don't see, right? And that's where the emotional, the mental, sometimes people will try to attack you spiritually. And so it's so important that we learn and we teach people how to treat us. And when they begin, because the first shove, the first push, that has to be addressed. What
Oh
happens a
yeah.
lot of times
First.
is, oh, the person was having a tough day. Oh, we make excuses. But it has to be addressed, because if it's not addressed, then they will try it again, as I said, as children. Listen, life happens to all of us. And I'm going to say that, if someone disrespects me, depending on what's going on, because sometimes there are things going on in folks' lives, I'm like, okay, is this a good time to say something in this moment? Because I may give you some grace. This is not the physical piece. I'm just saying in general. I'm going to give
Mhm.
you some
Mhm.
grace the first time. But then after that, it's going to be addressed expeditiously. Like I'm not fooling around with that, because I'm not going to teach you to treat me a certain way.
That's right. And that's the thing that people don't get. They get upset with a person who treats them bad, but they don't take accountability that they allow them to treat them that way. No one could treat you anyway unless you let them and allow them in your space to treat you that way. And I always say you create monsters, because
Mm,
if you don't say
wow.
anything and then they continue to do it and you don't say nothing, you create monsters. And then you get mad at them because you expect them to understand, or you expect them to do what you do. And that's what was my issue. You
Mm,
think people think like you. So you say, well, they wouldn't do this to me because I can't see that. Like, if I'm treating you good, why would you hit me? If
that's right.
I'm treating you good, why would you talk bad to me? Like, it doesn't register in my head because I don't think that way. But
Mm,
other people don't think like you think. So if you don't, like you said, address it and say, you know what? Let's talk about this because I don't like how you made me feel.
yeah, yeah.
I don't like the feeling I'm feeling right now. And we need to correct this, because if we don't, we're gonna have an issue, because I cannot allow you to treat me like this. We feel like it's something wrong to talk up for ourselves.
Mm-hmm,
Like, if we
mm-hmm.
say something, people think that, oh, you Didio, you asking for too much. No, I'm not asking for too much. If you are not able to treat me decent, and that's lowballing. If you can't do that,
Treat me like
we
a
don't
human
need to be
being.
friends. We
Yeah,
don't need to
yeah,
be dating. We don't need to be together. I can't allow that anymore. And I
that's
was
right.
at that point. I used to let people just say whatever. And I thought, well, I'll just let it roll, whatever. And you create monsters. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
wake up, then they looking at you like crazy because you're saying something like, wait a minute, now you got boundaries now? But these people have boundaries. The
Yeah,
people who
that's
do
right.
it to you, they have boundaries for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Mm-hmm.
they're not, you're training them. You're training them to do this because you're not saying nothing. And
Yeah,
that's
and
what
it's
Carol's
important to
saying.
speak up for
You
yourself and
have to
advocate for
say
yourself.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to say something. And if you don't say nothing, you cannot get mad at them. You got to take accountability that you allow people to treat you any other way and you didn't say anything. You have to speak up and be your own advocate. No one's going to be an advocate but yourself. And when you start doing that, people will do what you tell them to do because it's your body and your mind and your space. They can't
Mm-hmm.
come in your space and tell you how they're going to treat you.
Mm.
And if you love yourself, if you love yourself, you wouldn't allow that to happen anyway
That's
because
right.
you know your value. When we don't know our value, that's why we
And
let
our
people
worth.
do that because we
Mm-hmm.
don't love ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you love yourself, you will not let nobody get in your personal space at all. You're not gonna worry about no man. You ain't gonna worry about no friends. You like, I can get another one of both of y'all because I know I love me and I can be at the house by myself and be just fine.
Oh
So,
gosh. I hear you, girl. I
that's
hear
what
you.
it is. You got to be good with yourself. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not good with yourself, you have to have people around you all the time because you don't know your value. You
That's
need to
right.
really think about this because you allowing people to do anything to you because you just want someone around you. That's not good.
And this is why you
So,
have to
Carol,
have
this is amazing.
And this is why you have to have commandments, right? This is why you have to have
Mm,
a set of core values that you live by. Because if you don't have those core values or those commandments, or I also call them non negotiables, these are
mhm,
not, no, we're not negotiating on you talking to me crazy. We're not going to
mhm.
negotiate on you physically harming me. We're not going to negotiate on you emotionally harming me. If there's something going on, you have to tell me. But guess what? If you don't tell me, I don't know. So I know we only have limited time, but you let me know when you're ready for the next one because I'm gonna hit you in about a
You know
minute.
what?
Really,
We
another
may
good
have to
one.
bring you for part two. We may have to bring you back to
Yeah,
part
we may
two.
have to do it. We may have to do it.
We have to do it because this is really good. I got so many comments. You know what? Let me go to the comments because we got a lot of comments we got to go through.
Okay,
Hold on.
okay,
I'm gonna make sure I get all your comments in.
okay.
Let's go here. Let's see right here. We got Mario here. You're like, Carol, you're a real deal and true angel to so many, changing lives for so many and your students and those around you.
I love
Beautiful.
Mario. I love him. He's another one from high school. Okay, I've known him for 35 years. He is the bomb.com. Okay, I love him so much.
That was
Love
a
you,
nice, that
Mario.
was beautiful, definitely. And what's the first name? I'll make sure I pronounce it right.
Alsace.
Elsis, okay. Carol, you will have another 10. Oh, you're going to have another 10 Commandments 6 week
Yes.
seminar this year.
Yes, so we have I'll say this was part of what we call Genesis. So I have a group of women that we did a 5 weeks, I think, seminar where that's all we did was women creating and designing their own commandments. So we did it over
Mm.
about a 5 week period. And so she was part of the first class and she's an artist. Right behind me, you will see her artwork. This is called Living Your Life Like
Oh,
It's Golden. You see this? You see all this gold over here sprinkling?
yes.
You see, this
That's,
is the name of the artwork. Living your life like it's golden. You see that? See,
oh,
when you have
and
this
it's
kind of
golden.
positive stuff around these parts, you don't be worried about other folks.
But you know what? I got something for you, but let me do the comments. I got a
Okay,
little
okay,
process.
okay.
Okay, let's do the next one here. I'm glad Carol chose peace. She don't play. What a beautiful person. Love you, sis. That is beautiful. Oh, okay. I got a lot to tell you.
Yes, Kaya.
Okay, when you speak up for ourselves and a person does not know how to take your expression or your feelings at that point, it is safe to even keep them around. Oh, my thing is jumping. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on one second. Oh, keep them around in hopes of maybe one day they will understand,
Mm,
like how much grace is safe to give because
mm,
people have bad days. like Carol said, but how do you navigate when it's safe to remove yourself from that person? That's a question. Two strikes and you're out. I know that you can be unhealthy too by not giving that many chances in a way y'all know. So,
yeah.
Carol, you want to kind of chime in on that
Yeah,
one?
I would say, I think I mentioned this before. This is why it's so important to talk to other women, other sisters, other people who you have around you. And so for me, if I'm going through a difficult time, so, you talked about, how many chances do you give? Sometimes we have to go deep within ourselves to say, why are we giving ourselves or the other person so many chances? There's something going on there. And so therapy also helps. I'm a big proponent of therapy. Try to find someone professional to help to say, this is what's going on. That person is completely objective, right? It's not your sister friend. It's not somebody that you think is going to judge you. So I would say therapy, because that works for me. I would say try that, but also just be very careful of guarding your heart and protecting your peace, because I'm going to talk about peace in a minute. Because if you don't have that, sometimes it's a slow road. And so I would say finding professional assistance would be great.
Yeah, definitely. Because, she said here, like how much grace is safe to give. Yeah, grace is what Carol described. She said one-time grace. You give grace
But it
one
depends on the
time.
situation now. It depends on what it is. Because if you're going to put your hands on me, there ain't no grace for that.
No, there ain't no grace.
No, there's no grace. You don't get
So
a
there's
grace.
levels of grace.
But what you're going to get is some handcuffs, right? And don't let me have to call my peoples in New York. Because that's a different situation.
Look,
we don't want that. We don't want no smoke.
Of course, different levels, but I guess you
That's
just
right.
them verbally, or how someone's
Yeah.
treating you verbally, then you could give grace. But
Yeah,
that's a great
yes.
question. Definitely a great question.
Yeah.
Next, non-negotiables. Yeah, there are many of those. You're not lying about that. Oh, she was laughing at something we said earlier. Deborah said, beautiful. Protecting your peace, protecting your edge. Oh,
Yes,
the
honey.
edges.
Listen, I don't got that many edges left, and I'm going to protect them.
Woo!
I don't got time for that.
Back in the day, he was like, whoa, don't have no box braids in and you ripping box braids out, right? Those days are over. Those days are over. Can't do that no more.
That's right.
Let me see. Last here. Let me see. All right. Oh, let me tell you what I have for you. When you had mentioned that you had did a class.
Yes, I did a seminar.
Okay. All right. So, I do my homework, right?
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that I do my homework.
Oh, you did your homework. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
glad
I did my
you
homework
did.
for you. Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about this.
Oh, yes. You really did your homework, honey. This is what Miss Alsace was referring to. This is what she was referring to.
Yes, I know. That's why I said a perfect subway. So, you was on Spectrum News.
Yes, I was.
It's a major news. Everybody knows Spectrum News. That's a major newscast, and you was featured for this program that you were just talking about. So you want to talk about that briefly?
Yes. So this is a 5 or 6 weeks program. I would have to go back to see how many weeks we did it. And so what we did each week, we also had homework assignments. So about 8 of us got together, 8 women. One of the things I learned from Sonia Jackson Miles is sometimes you don't worry about the number of people, but the impact that you're making.
That's it.
Don't worry about how many people are going to show up. Worry about the impact that you're making. So 8 of us, 8 or 9 of us did this together, where we started off with kind of, we always had a prayer that we started off with. And then we went into, what are these societal things that women face all the time? Who were you before the world told you who you should be? So we kind of went through some of those things. And then I talked about my commandments. And so each week they got us an assignment to create their own commandments. And then they would come back the next week and talk about the commandments that they created, but also what challenges do they think that they're going to have to implement those commandments? Because we can think we can do something, but sometimes the challenges will come, and what are you going to do? Because again, these are non-negotiables. Once you have one, when Alsace mentioned about the edges, once you have that commandment, that's what it is. And you have to make sure that once you create them, you live by them. So it can't just be, oh, I came up with this thing and I did this program. Okay, no, are you living by them? And so I'm really grateful that you were able to do your homework and saw that I did that program with 8 amazing women. I'm going to do it again in the spring term. I just need to figure out the best time in the spring to do it. And yeah, it was amazing. It was wonderful. Thank you for looking.
Yeah, and when I watched the, if y'all want to look it up on Spectrum News, or just look under Carol Tonge Mack, and you'll be able to pull up the newscast.
Yeah.
And they went through it and showed the little ceremony they had, and the gift they gave her. It was really, really nice.
Oh.
It was a nice, I guess not a write up, but a nice interview that they did with you about the program. So proud of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Your thing. See, I have great people on my show. Y'all have famous people on my show. Y'all don't know about that. See, y'all be sleeping on me.
That's right. That's right. No sleeping no more.
So, but yeah. So let's get back to the commandments, and then we'll. All right. So we on your number 6, right? So thou shalt stop trying to get. You know what? I'm gonna say this right. Hold on.
I know it's one of your favorites, sis.
Thou shalt stop trying to get others to like you. Okay? Let's talk about that, because that was my major issue.
Yes. So at the end of that particular commandment, again, thou shalt stop trying to get people to like you. They have determined you will not become part of their circle. And the quote that I have here at the end of it says, when someone show you who they are, by Auntie Maya Angelou, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. So, as you know, sis, we are trying so hard to get other people to like us. I mean, we do it sometimes unconsciously because we're trying really, really hard to make this happen. And, I'm just grateful that I'm not in that space. Sometimes we have to question and ask, what blessings are we missing? Or are we blocking because we're spending so much time over here trying to get folks to like us? When my grandmother passed away about 22 years ago, January last year, made 22 years, she left me 2 things. She left me her wedding band, and she left me blessings. So you telling me that you don't like me? How is that going to trump God-given blessings? I do not focus on folks who do not like me, because that's not my business. That is not my business that you don't like me. And I think we need to really dig deeper to understand, why is it I'm trying so hard to get Gina to like me? Why am I trying so hard to get Lisa? I'm going to say my sister's name, Lisa. Why are we trying so hard to get Lisa to like me? Sometimes we have to understand that we have some healing to do, because there's something within ourselves that's telling us, oh my gosh, like they don't like me, and it means something to me. So let me read this to you really quick, sis. And I believe in, in personal liberation. I believe in that, because Marcus Garvey and then Bob Marley repeated it and said, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. So I'm going to read you this quote from this article I recently read by psychologist Maytal Ayel in Time. The title of the article was, Self-silencing is making us sick. Self-silencing is making us sick. What I'm saying in this particular situation, when we are trying so hard to get people to like us, we're making ourselves sick. She said, because she's a psychologist, and she said, be more disappointing is not a piece of advice most people would pay money to hear. But in my therapy office, it's often the most valuable guidance I can give. My clients are mostly women, and nearly all of them struggle with the fear of disappointing others. Our culture rewards women for being perpetually pleasant, self-sacrificing, and emotionally in control. And it can feel counterintuitive for my clients to say no, or firmly assert their wants and needs. But my work is about helping them realize that their health might literally depend on it. And here's what she quoted. She said, today, women account for almost 80% of autoimmune diseases cases. They are higher at risk of suffering from chronic pain, insomnia, long COVID, irritable bowel syndrome, and migraines, and are twice as likely as men to die after a heart attack. Women experience depression, anxiety, PTSD, and twice the rate of men, and face 9-fold higher prevalence of anorexia, the deadliest mental health disorder. Another practice, this is what you were talking about, sis. She said another practice closely related is boundary setting. For women, who have been unconsciously taught to view our likability as our greatest asset. Boundary setting can often feel counterintuitive. Many of us fear that if we honestly communicate our needs and limitations, this will threaten our relationships.
Mm.
Boundary setting. We have to make sure that we're setting it up, that we're not in this situation where we're trying to get people to like us so much. They have invaded our boundaries, but we haven't said anything because we're too busy trying to get people to like us. I do not have that problem, sis. I walk into any room confidently. You hear
That's
me?
right.
I walk in confidently because I'm not worried that you don't like me because my grandma left me blessings. You hear what I said?
Right.
I'm living. Didn't I just tell you I was living my life like it was golden?
Really
Did you see
golden.
the artwork back here? You see this makeup? I'm looking extra cute tonight. I ain't worried about it if you like me. I'm not worried about it.
But like you said, it's based on you, meaning that you got to do your work. Because if you're doing that, I'm a recovering person. So I've been there, people. I get it. When you don't love yourself and you don't understand your value and your worth and how great you are, and I'm like, I'm great. When you're around people that tell you, you don't need to be, don't be conceited, don't be trying to boast and brag, and you believe that, and you think that you're supposed to, humble yourself and, walk around, with your head, that's not true, people. That is not true. That's their problem. Like Carol said, that's their problem. You're supposed to be happy and proud of who you are. I'm a queen. I am named Regina. Regina means queen. I was labeled a queen when I came out my mother's womb. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna act like the name I was given. And I'm not gonna act like I don't know. You're not gonna make me feel no other way. It took me a long time to realize that.
Mhm.
So hopefully tonight, this is telling you and showing you that don't do that.
No.
Your blessings are being blocked because God had told you that you're going to be someone and he had gave you a purpose. You can't walk in his purpose when you're, scared and don't want to say nothing and you don't love yourself. There's no way you could walk in his purpose unless you know who you are. That's the first step.
Waiting for other people to like us. Like God has
Validation.
already blessed you. I mean, you don't have to wait. Listen, I let's be clear. We want folks to like us. I'm not saying that, oh, you're just walking around here. No, that's not what I'm saying. Of course, but it's the time that you're taking over and over again, extending yourself when you know the person. Maya Angelou said, when they show you who they are, believe them the first time. They showed you time and time again that they don't really care for you. But we keep doing it because there's some kind of healing
It's
that we're
something
missing.
in you.
There's something inside of you that's missing. It's that little girl, that little boy, that whomever it is that wasn't liked at some point and you were just never addressed. That's why I'm always going to talk about therapy. If that's what you need to do to figure out what that is, but don't waste your time because you're blocking your blessings. Somebody else can't wait for you to like them, right? They're just there. And we haven't paid attention. And so I just think we just need to make sure that we're walking in our purpose and stop waiting for people to like us.
Yes, amen to that, sis. Amen to that. So hopefully if you see those traits in you, like I said I had, tonight, let's be transparent. If you see these traits in you, now you have a blueprint of what to do.
That's right.
Carol's book, we'll talk about that, how you can get this book later. But I would recommend that because it's a simple 10 steps and it's like, as you see, they're not difficult, but you just got to do the work. And you got to be consistent and you got to be disciplined. Anything in life is not too hard, but consistency and discipline is the key of attaining your goals. So you have to stick to it. And it's funny you said that, Carol, because Janine has said, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them. The first time.
She said that before you started talking about this topic.
The first time. That's right.
So she already hit it on the head, right?
Yes,
she already hit it on the head. So I definitely would say we're gonna have one more. We have one more to go, and we're gonna talk about a couple of things before we head out.
Mm-hmm.
But I have so many more comments to go over. So yeah, you're on fire. You're on fire, Carol.
I'm gonna just skip to the bonus commandment because I know we have limited time. I'm gonna give you a bonus commandment. This one is gonna blow you away, sis. So the bonus commandment is from my really dear friend. Her name is Nikki Moore Hawkins, Mrs. Nikki Moore Hawkins. She was also the same Nikki I mentioned earlier about my accountability partner.
Right.
And her commandment, so she was a guest speaker in the seminar, the 5-6 week seminar that we talked about. I invited her as a guest speaker, and she shared one of her commandments. And her commandment, I use it now as a bonus commandment. I told her that I was going to use it.
Okay.
It says radically. That's the word I want us to focus on tonight. Radically. Remove those things from your life that no longer serve you. You better go ahead with it, sis.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Radically remove those things from your life that no longer serve you. You knew it wasn't serving you 6 months ago. You knew it wasn't serving you a year ago. But here we are a year later, and you're still there. Radically remove it because it's no longer serving you.
But see, the work that you had to do on yourself is the reason why you have not removed it.
That's right.
Because you're trying to take a square and put it in a circle peg. You're trying to make it fit. You're trying to make it fit, and it's not going to fit. Let it go. It's hard for us to let things go because we think we're failures. You're not a failure when you let something go. You're smart because you're wasting the time that your blessings are not being bestowed on you because you're not walking in your purpose because you're trying to do things. You're steering the car. God got the wheel. You're taking the wheel for him, and you're trying to go another route. He's telling you which way to go. He's telling you, the intuition that you get, that you hear, you need to let something go.
Yes.
We all hear it, but we just think it's, I don't know what we think it is. But when you hear the intuition, it's telling you, let it go.
And sometimes God hits us over the head a little bit, and we're like, oh yeah, I needed to pay attention. But that's one of the things that I do as part of what Alcius was talking about the 6 week seminar. We make sure that at the end, we do like a burning ceremony, or I call it the purging ceremony. So I asked the women to write something down that you want to purge, because we're going to get rid of it. We're going to remove it because it's no longer serving you. And so I had women, they came, with what they had, and we put it in the fire. We let it go because it's no longer serving us.
Let's see. We got a couple more comments, and then we'll start closing up. So, guys, the awesome words. Thanks for the response. You're so welcome.
Thank you.
You were blessed with Carol, and she gave you the response. So when you see her next time, you'll be like, I know her. She talked to me. So, Melvina. Hey, Melvina. I'm so sorry I tuned in late, but I will go back and this is one of my faithful listeners. She's been there from day one. Yes. Melvina, believe me, she's gonna watch the whole show and she will comment after it. So thank you, Melvina, for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Janine said, thank you, awesome job. Thank you so much, Janine. I appreciate it. All right. So before we head out, I have one more thing I wanted to show the Let's Talk fam is your book. And let's get this up and running. Hold on 1 second. There you go. So this is your book that's on Amazon.
Yes, it is. It's on Amazon.
Yes.
And a major
shout out. Talk about that?
Yes. So this book, oh my gosh, this was the first thing I did as part of the Dream Walking Masterclass that I mentioned to you. And I really wanted to, write my own story. I think one of the commandments is about telling your own story, your own narrative. Because as you know, Miss Gina, folks are really good at trying to tell your stuff. No, they're really good at saying, well, I know so-and-so about Carol and Carol and Carol. I'm like, well, did you hear it from me? You didn't. So let me give you a peek into a little bit about my life. So I wrote this and published it in 2017. It's now on Amazon. And major shout out to the person who did the book cover. His name is Greg Cooper Spencer. I love him dearly. And then at the back of it was by his partner, Doug Cooper Spencer. And so what you see there as the little girl, right? The little girl there, you see me doing my confirmation. I don't even do Catholicism as much anymore, but that's me doing the confirmation process. And the name of the book is Being Bernadette. So, when you confirm or the confirmation process, you get a Catholic name. So my Catholic name is Bernadette. And so it says Being Bernadette, from polite silence to finding the Black girl magic within. And so as a child, you become innocent. You don't say that much because adults tell you, don't do this, don't do that. And then as you grow and you mature, you realize some things need to be spoken. And I understand not everything, but we're talking about polite silence, the stuff that happens all the time. And politely, we don't want to say anything about it, like domestic violence, right? That's one of those polite things like, well, you don't want to say anything about it because then, no, some things need to be spoken about. So yes, so this is the front cover of my book, and I really appreciate that you're putting it out there. Thank you.
Oh, no problem at all. And so you want to talk about the 10 Commandments and how that could be purchased?
Yes. So the 10 Commandments, the book anyone can purchase at any time on my website. You will also, it's www.erasingtheisms.org. Again, www.erasingtheisms.org. And on my website, you should be able to purchase my book is there. You have the option to whether or not you would like to purchase it from Amazon, or you can purchase it directly from me, where I can actually sign it. Because of course, if you get it from Amazon, you're not going to get my signature. So that's on the website. And also I have shirts that I sell that says "End Polite Silence," because that is my brand, to end the silence. And but where the 10 Commandments is concerned, I usually only purchase those. I usually only distribute those when I have, whether it's a workshop or conferences, because they go together. They can't be abstract. So for example, if I'm invited to speak at someone's university or someone's church or someone's organization, someone's corporate company, I use the empowerment guide as part of that presentation. And so you can't buy it outright.
Workshop.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So yeah. So if you see the social media information here, and Carol does travel a lot, and she goes to different workshops and universities, and so look out for hopefully she'll be in a town or city near you, and you could definitely experience her in person, live in effect, and you'll be able to get the 10 Commandments, and you'll be able to get her in full effect, as we used to say back in the day. So
full effect,
definitely look out for Carol.
And feel free to invite me as well. So you can feel free to say, you know what, at your university, at your company, your organization, oh my God, I saw this presentation. I really want to learn more. Certainly, hit me up, and I'll certainly come out and do a presentation there and bring the 10 Commandments with me.
Okay, you heard that. Now we have some people on here that actually work at organizations that I know of. So if you like what you heard and like what you saw, she's open for speaking engagements and workshops. So please reach out to Carol Tonge Mack. She's amazing, as you see. She's amazing. Guess what, Carol?
What's that?
Oh,
she's here. Hey, Miss Sonia, we love you.
Sonia Jackson Miles.
We love you
too.
We were just talking about you. We were talking about you.
Yes, we love you too. Like I said, without Sonia, this would not be happening tonight. So thank you for you being the bridge.
Yes.
That brought us together. We totally love you. Definitely love you. And she said here, yes, my dream work assistant, Carol. Yes.
We did it. We did it together.
About your program.
Yes.
Yeah. So definitely that program was taught highly on the cruise ship. I met so many dream walker sisters, as y'all call each other.
Dream walking sisters. That's right.
Yes. I met.
We're walking in our dreams. We're not just dreaming about our dreams. We are walking in our dreams.
As you see, she's sitting up here doing it right now. So obviously it's working. And we have another person, my roommate, our sorority sister, Robin Hunter. Robin. Hey, Robin. Robin was my roommate. She was, first of all, I was her roommate because she allowed me to go to her room. So thank you, Robin. Once again, we bonded. We had a great time. And as we found out, we all were sorority sisters.
Yes.
That's another bond that would never be broken.
That's right.
So Robin, thank you for listening. She said, hey, Soros. Hello. Blue and white all day, every day. Final women.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, we are. Sonia said, Robin is my childhood friend. D9 Love. I gotta say that Sonia is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and we all are D9. We are definitely sorority sisters, in all colors. So
That's right.
definitely. Thank you, Sonia, so much for listening. I know she's a busy woman.
That's right. That's
So for
right.
you to take your time out to listen and watch the show, we totally appreciate it because I know you got a lot going on. So before we close out, I have a couple of things I want to do. Hold on one second. Let's talk about this first. So, long story short, as we're talking about Sonia, I was connected to Sonia through my cousin, Tony, and he said, y'all have so much in common because I just did a cruise in April. I did my first conference cruise in April. And he said, she has a cruise coming up in August, and y'all doing the same kind of thing with the sisters. And he's like, y'all got to talk. Y'all got to talk. And we did. And I was, wanted to support her, and I knew I was going to get blessings out of it. So I ended up going on her cruise. And I learned so much, and I was able to, and I'm explaining that to you in a second. As you see on the flyer, there's someone looks familiar on there. Carol, can you see?
No, I can't. What am I looking for?
The DJ.
Oh!
So I was on the ship, and the DJ that Sonia had, DJ Lisa Blade, she was amazing.
Yes, she's awesome.
She was amazing. And I went up to her, I said, listen, I had a cruise this year. I'm doing one next year. I want you to be my DJ on my cruise. And she was like, of course I would do it. We talked it out, and it's happening. She is on my cruise. You see how God works?
Listen, and it's no longer mysterious. It's no longer a mystery. It's no longer a mystery. He works how he's supposed to work.
Yes, I took full advantage. When I heard her, I said, wait a minute. And that's woman power right there.
Yes.
You have a woman DJ too? Oh, yes. Oh, this is all, yeah. So she's amazing, people. I'm telling you. So I'm having my cruise, my second annual Ring Out Your Sponge Conference Cruise is going to be April 29th through May 4th of 2024. It's going to be amazing. We have, like I said, a celebrity DJ as well as a recording artist, Roxy Blue. She's amazing. I can't wait for y'all to hear her. And Triple A, once again, Sonia, I'm telling you, Sonia girl, they are the bomb.com.
They did everything for us. They did everything.
They were amazing. I experienced them on her cruise, and I had to use them for mine. So Sonia, thank you for sharing. Thank you for allowing me to use your path with some of this logistics, because a lot of women would take it and be like, don't be biting my stuff and don't be using my things and da-da. Sonia said, girl, please go ahead, because that's what it's about. You're supposed to share. We're supposed to share and help each other. That's sisterhood.
Yes.
So Sonia, you are a great example of what sisterhood means. So thank you for sharing your resources with me, because a lot of people won't do that. And I do it. I share my resources with people because it's not a secret. Because what God got for you, he got for you. Ain't nothing you could do or not do that's going to take away your blessings. So sharing information is not, oh, I can't share it because I won't, they're going to bite me. No, God has for you is for you. And when you share, he's going to bless you even more because he sees that you're not being selfish.
That's right.
You're right. So Ring Out Your Sponge, like I said, the conference cruise Triple A is sponsoring the cruise. They are amazing. I'm telling you, they handle everything for us. Everything. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. So the agent is Gwen. She's handling the cruise, and her information is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. So if you're interested in joining us, it's only $25 down before November 27th. And you'll see she'll go over the levels, the different cabins that you're interested in. So contact Gwen, and that's the number. Her extension is right there, and her email's right there. I'll let that roll for a second so you could get that, and you would not want to miss it. We have beautiful speakers. We got recording artists. We have DJs. We have, it's amazing. We're going to Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. It's 5 nights. 6 days. It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. We have so many repeat people coming from this year, coming next year. I would want you to be a part of this experience. It's called Ring Out Your Sponge. That's my program. I have a book and a journal, just like Carol has as a program setting. So we help you wring out your insecurities, your low self-esteem, your validation issues, and we help you absorb new processes, new belief systems, and new ideas, and be able to live your life golden, as Lisa says. That's the word today. Live your life golden.
That's
So
right.
please,
That's right.
definitely reach out, or you can go to any of my social media sources. Let's Talk 1943, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, um, TikTok, all those, and you reach out to me, and I'll give you the information if you missed it today. So thank you so much for that. Next thing we have, I have a program, and it's called the. It's on January 6th, 2024, in the North Carolina at 1 p.m. with me and my speaker sister, Tunisia. We are doing this together. It's going to be amazing. It's going to start the year new year off, and we're going to wake up. It's called the Awakening. We're going to wake up. So we're going to definitely have that for you. We're going to have food. We're going to have the speakers, the music. Roxy Blue is going to bless us again. She's amazing. She's God's sent. She's like, I'm there. I'm going to do it. So we got her. We have a DJ. Come join us. It's January 6th. And actually, you could get the tickets on Eventbrite. So if you go to eventbrite.com and look for The Awakening, you'll be able to find the tickets. They're only $25, and you get food, DJ speakers. You can't beat that. Can't beat that. So hopefully we'll see you there at The Awakening, Pitt Community College, Winterville, North Carolina, January 6, 2020. So I think that's what I have. Yeah. I think we have a couple of comments, and we're going to end it off.
Okay, and if you don't mind, I can end with a prayer that I love to read at the end.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come to you. To you. I just want to end it. Let's go ahead and go through this. Hold on 1 second. Sonia had a couple of things she said here. Hold on, let me get this off the screen so we can see. There we go.
Oh, she's so
get
amazing.
My stuff back up. Hold on 1 second. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. She says her honor. So thank you so much. That's right. We have to share. That's right, Sonia. I'm so proud of you. Triple A is amazing. Yes. Love them, Phil or Malcolm. Yes, they are amazing. I mean, that's when you go places, you learn things. And I was able to learn that. That was great, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he said support people. Yes, definitely hear that. Oh, okay, Kimberly Graham. Hey, girl. Hey, smooches. I'll be in touch this week. All right. And you're doing it, sis. I'm so proud of you. Yes, we are proud of you too, Sonia. We're definitely proud of you. Yeah, we got a lot going on, right? So before we go out, we'll go ahead and do a final word. So, Miss Carol, the floor is yours.
Yes, I want to thank you so much, sis, for recognizing that you heard something amazing and reached out to me. Not everybody does that. And as you know, Sonia is a big proponent of making sure that sisters love on each other. And so I love that you loved on me enough to say, you know what, go ahead and come on this show, because you didn't have to. You could have just said, oh, nice speech, and moved on. And you didn't have to do that. So I'm really eternally grateful for this opportunity. I'm always going to go back to what Sonia said about don't worry about the number, but the impact that you will have. Because earlier in the year, I tried to say, oh, last year I did this, so this year I should do this. And so this year I'm like, I was working a bit more, didn't get a chance to advertise as much. And so I was like, well, I wonder what impact I'm going to have this year. Then I got the opportunity to be on the cruise ship. And then while I was there, I was just like, man, I don't know if I had much impact. And then here you were. And now this has been broadcasted, not just on Facebook, but on Instagram, on LinkedIn. So many people, right, are able to watch this. And it's recorded, so more people will even be able to hear it. And so I am eternally grateful for this opportunity. And at the end of most of the seminars that I do, I like to say this prayer. And this is a prayer that I have from a friend of mine who told this to me. And it goes like this: Dear God,
Mhm.
please remove from my life all the people, places, and things that are not part of your divine plan for me, and draw unto me all the people, places, and things that are part of your divine plan for me. Amen.
Oh, you know, when you say that prayer, you have to be ready.
Yes, because you're
When you
just
say
asking
that
God for
prayer,
simple things. It's a simple prayer. Dear God, just remove those things that are not part of your
but you
divine
have to
plan
be
for me.
ready. And
Yes.
you know why? Because what you said earlier, we keep holding on to stuff that we're not supposed to hold on to. We chasing people we're not supposed to chase, right?
Mhm,
So when you
mhm,
tell God, remove the people out of my life that are not supposed to be there so I can walk in your purpose, you
mhm.
got to be ready. Because there's gonna be people that you it's gonna hurt.
Yes.
It's gonna because it's
And
gonna
I'm
be
also
people that you
asking him
might.
to remove those, but then draw unto me those people
Mhm.
that are going to be part of your divine plan, not my divine plan, but
There you
his
go.
divine plan for me. So he's going to remove those who don't need to be there, and he's going to draw unto me the ones that should be there. And so he was
You
very
gotta trust the
intentional.
process.
He was intentional when he drew you to me. He was
Amen,
intentional
sister.
when he drew Miss Sonia Jackson Mile. Again, we were from the same city, lived in the same city, and I had to meet her on an island of all places, Jamaica, right? And so here we are. And so God is good.
God is good. I'm telling you. And that's the thing. You have to trust the process. When you
That's right.
trust the process, one of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. They tell you, trust not in your own understanding. You're trusting God, not your understanding. Lean on him with all your heart, and he will straighten out your crooked path. But you have to lean on his understanding, not yours. So when he removes people, you're not going to understand why. You're
That's
going to
right.
say, well, this person's cool with me. They this, that. He has that plan for you that you're not going to understand right now. You got to just trust the process, and later on it's going to reveal itself, just like the footsteps, right? One in front of the other. You don't see down the street. You only see the next footstep in front of the next one, right? So you're not going to see the whole picture. You're not going to know exactly what's happening. So when she said that prayer, it really resonated with me because when you say that to him, be ready because he's
Mm-hmm.
going to do what you pray. He's going to remove, but he's going to give you so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not even going to understand the abundance of what you're going to receive. You got to trust it, and he's going to take care of you. But
Listen,
that's the
I am
problem. We
ready.
want to drive the car. We don't want to let go of the wheel. Let
Mm-hmm.
the wheel go. He will steer it for you, and he will take care of you.
Mm.
And that really hit me because people need to hear that. Stop trying to orchestrate your life. Let God do his job. Let him do his job, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And it will all work out. This right here is God right here. Because for me to just talk to Sonia, and I believed in her in that first phone call to say, I'm going to go on your cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to support you, but I want to experience the sisterhood in this cruise. And look what happened.
Yes,
Look what happened. And this is just the beginning. This
that's
is
right.
not even, this is the tip of the iceberg of what's going to go down with a lot of us on this cruise.
Mm-hmm.
So trust the process. Don't worry about things. Don't put too much to it. Don't try to talk yourself out of stuff. Just go for it, and things will work out in your behalf. I promise you that. Promise
Thank
you
you so
that.
much, sis.
We got
Thank
so
you.
many other. I know we got so many other comments. I'm gonna do this because I hate when people comment and I don't get it on here because I know people want you to hear what they said. So, um, Miss Carol Tonge Mack, I really needed that right
Mm.
now at this
Wow.
moment. Thank you.
Wow.
You see
You're
what I'm
welcome.
saying?
You're welcome, Miss Kimberly. Thank you for listening.
Mhm. No more chasing. That's right. Come on now. You know how she says that. Come on now. I can hear the way she said. Yes, God draws into me for his plan. That's right.
Yes.
He sure
Thank you.
does.
Thank you.
God is good and faithful. Amen. Looking forward to our family's meeting.
Yes.
Hey, oh, Effie said, hey, Bell, love you. So glad you're here, sis. On accord. That's
One
right, on
accord.
one accord. Yes, Effie, see, yeah, met her too, right?
Yes,
So,
yes. And I
yep,
was so grateful for her on this trip because I went solo, she was solo, and we were like, "Oh, we here. We're just trying to do our thing." And we made sure that we met up, and and
it was nice meeting
the
you
other
too.
Regina that was on the ship. Remember we did the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
listen, did she bless us or what? Did she pray?
Yeah,
Listen, did she pray or what?
you
And
know
so
she's coming on my show soon, right?
oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yep,
Oh my
we
gosh.
already talked it out.
Wonderful,
She's
wonderful.
coming on soon. I'm hoping she'll be for next month. I got to contact her
Okay.
and work it out, but I'm hoping she's next month because okay, we're not gonna go. We gotta go.
Okay.
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 But Evie, it was great meeting you. It was so great meeting you. Great motivating words. Yes, it was divine intervention. There you go. There
Mm-hmm.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank
we
you.
have to close out. We are on
Yes.
longer
Thank
than
you
we
so much,
usually, but
sis.
you
Thank
know what?
you.
I let God work it. I don't worry about all that because, like you said, whoever's supposed to be here is going to be here. I
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about the numbers. I don't worry about all that because God takes care of that. So if you're still here, that means you're supposed to be here to listen to this.
That's
So
right.
thank you for staying on longer than what our show usually is. But I'm not going to stop God from working. If God said we need to talk a little longer, I'm going to talk a little longer. So it is what it is. So be it. Anyway, so I want to go ahead and thank you personally, Carol. Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Thank you so
allowing
much.
your grace and your presence on Let's Talk 1943. You have blessed so many people. The comments are flowing. It's still flowing, girl. They're coming in. They are coming in. Oh my gosh, you are such a blessing.
Thank
So
you.
thank you
Thank
so
you, my
much.
dear. Thank you so much.
You could see us on all the platforms. If you have not, if you missed it, you can go on my YouTube page. Let's Talk 1943. I have a podcast, all podcast platforms. You just look up Let's Talk 1943. You could hear this conversation as you driving to work or you going whatever. If you couldn't see it all, you can listen to it later on our platform for the podcast. You could watch us on Twitter. You could watch us on LinkedIn. You could watch us on Let's Talk on Facebook. I was on my personal page, Regina Smithwick, on Facebook. There's 6 different destinations you can watch this again. And Carol will have it on her page as well. It will be shared on her page. So if you missed anything or you want to go back on the 10 Commandments, please do, because there was some knowledge that was spoken tonight. And I appreciate you, Carol, because I love that you gave everybody recognition. You gave from the book cover people all the way to your high school friends. That tells you that it's not all about you.
Mm-hmm.
You make sure that others get recognition because the things that you think are little are not. The person
Mm-hmm.
that did the book cover is probably screaming happy that you recognize them because you didn't have to. So thank you for taking time out to
Of
recognize the
course.
people in your life that made a difference and made you who you are today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
Whew.
before
Thank
we
you.
leave
Have a
out,
great evening. This is
I,
fantastic.
I know this has been amazing. This has been amazing. So you already did your final words, and like I said, we're on once a month right now. If y'all like for me to come back twice a month, y'all can let me know. I've been on once a month. If y'all don't know, my mom passed away April 1st this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really, really hard. I just getting back on the wagon and getting my life back into, stride here. So I kind of say, let me just kind of inch back in doing it once a month. So hopefully I'll let God decide what I need to do with Let's Talk when it comes to the frequency of the show, if it's twice a month or once a month. But, hey, if you let me know, maybe that helped me make my decision. So just definitely let me know. All right. Well, until next time and until next month, I will say to you, God bless. Thank you so much. I love y'all.
Love you and
And
have a good
until
night.
next, I know this has been amazing, right? And so until next time, let's talk.
Let's
Good
talk.
night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a
Good
great
night.
night.